or if you're just listening to this, it's the waterfall in the background. We're in the backyard of
We're trying to
an undisclosed house.
make it a little, some meditation in the background, like the Calm app.
Yeah, we're
Just
trying to
vibe out.
we're trying to calm the audience right now because Sebas is coming with the fucking rage right now. He's pissed off and he's ready to call out the motherfuckers who are pissing him off. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, we got Sebas Bedoya.
What's
One
up,
of the
bro?
most common messages I get when I post you is, tell him to post more.
Yeah.
Tell him to post more.
Yeah,
How come you haven't been posting too much lately? You've been just like really focusing on like laser focused on what you're doing right now?
Yeah, so I mean, bro, YouTube, since I started, it's been like one of the greatest things I've ever done. I'm sure you've experienced this because,
Oh yeah.
like, it's very rewarding when you like go from those first videos where it's like you're getting started, not getting views, and then out of nowhere you have that one video that pops, and then it just becomes so much more enjoyable. But I don't know, bro. I felt like I was like splitting myself between work and like trying to get to the point I want to be at, and then doing YouTube because it came to a point back in 2018 where I was trying to do like daily videos.
Oh yeah.
I think that kind of ruined it for me because I was really like pushing myself. I was seeing people in the space kind of taking that route, like, if you're not doing daily videos, you're not really gonna blow up, or someone's gonna beat you.
Yeah.
So I got to a point where I was like, yo, I have to start making daily videos, and it started becoming redundant. Like 10 other people were dropping the same video. Like, I don't know, I was like, I'm gonna take a step back. I'm gonna build something real, a real brand that's long term that I could have for a year or two, maybe exit, and I'm set, and I don't have to worry about that. Because I never really got to do the videos I wanted to do from even back before I started. Jay Alvarez.
Yeah. Those are the types of videos you want to do?
Those were the type of videos I used to watch and be like, damn, that's the life I kind of want.
You know, it's funny, that time we were in Miami, remember when we watched the Jay Alvarez video?
Oh, yeah.
And then right after we watched that one kid who apparently like scammed everybody with an app.
Kurt Tyler?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We watched those same two videos last night. Eamon put them both
Yeah?
on. The exact two same.
Oh, that's pretty crazy.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
I was just thinking about that Miami trip. That was so fun.
That shit was fun.
That was like the first time I got introduced to like drop shippers on a personal basis. Remember that? I kept saying, holy shit, this is so weird to talk drop shipping.
Yeah? So before that, you hadn't ever talked to anyone that was doing that?
No.
That's crazy.
I met Mikey. That was like a month before I met Mikey and all them at my meetup, but it was at my meetup.
All right.
So at the time he wasn't doing too much, but it was like people who were already actively living on their own with like that.
Yeah. Now, I remember Noah hit me up. He's like, yo, Scott's coming to town. I had seen you, like, weirdly enough, like a week before that on YouTube, and I was like, damn, this guy's killing it. And then I'm home, and Noah's like, out of nowhere, because me and Noah don't really chill like that often, maybe like twice a year.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And he's like, yo, Scott's here in town. Like, you want us to pick you up or something like that? And I was like, for sure. So we ended up chilling, and it ended up being a pretty fun day.
Right after I dropped 10,000 on some diamonds.
Yeah.
That was so stupid.
Crazy story.
That was fucking, what was that jeweler's name? Frankie's Diamonds?
Something like that.
I thought he was the best jeweler. No.
Bro, it's sketchy, especially Miami.
Yeah.
I feel like you gotta be careful. There's a lot of scammers and fraud out there.
We went to do you know where he has his location at?
Mm-mm.
It's in like some ghetto mall, like ghetto mall.
Mm-mm.
Noah walked in and he's like, I feel like I'm in Alibaba because it's all like just
How'd you find the guy?
his YouTube videos actually.
The jeweler?
Yeah.
No
That's
way.
why YouTube's so powerful. You look at RBD and like
Yeah.
down there in LA, you look at Cool Kicks,
Yeah.
like 900,000 views a video. And just imagine how much business they bring because of that.
Yeah. And not just YouTube, I mean TikTok too, I'm sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's like the new thing that's popping, especially with like cookies and kicks.
Yeah.
It's crazy, bro.
That's what me and Alex were
It's
talking
really
about.
powerful. Yeah.
It's I don't know. Are you on TikTok at all? Like
Yeah.
on your in personal, not for your businesses.
Yeah, I do go on it. Maybe like 20 minutes a day.
Do you make it? Do you make any?
Not personally.
Yeah.
For the brand, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I kind of want to give it a shot.
Yeah.
Like, low key, I don't
You
know.
never know what's gonna work.
Right. And I see a lot of people, bro. There was this kid that I was telling my friend the story the other day. Back in 2013 when Vine was popping, I was on that. Like I was making like the videos that were being made on Vine.
Yeah.
And there was this kid from North Carolina. He was also doing the same thing. We talked a few times. We had like the same amount of followers on Vine. That's kind of how I got like my first following base on Instagram. I
Was
got
Vine?
to like 12K followers back in like 2014, 15. Was because of Vine. and this kid was on the same level, and I checked him out in January this year, because I randomly thought about the kid, like, damn, I wonder what he's doing. And January, bro, he retired from social media pretty much. I found his Instagram. He was getting like 100 likes, and I was like, well, I guess he's focusing on school or something. Then I'm on TikTok in June, and bro, this kid blew up on TikTok. He started doing TikToks in May.
Yeah.
And then a month after that, he had like 300K followers on TikTok. His Instagram got to like 24K.
What's he do? Does he just dance?
He does like alcohol related, like his brand is being an alcoholic.
Oh, okay.
So he'll
like
just make
Steve will
drinks
do it.
and yeah, something like that, pretty much. But then, bro, like he's getting brand deals. He's getting like it's going pretty well for him from what I'm seeing, and he's already chilling with people from like the Hype House and stuff, which are like the biggest TikTokers.
And what's
I
his
guess.
name?
Sean.
Sean.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you remember when Sebastian came through? Sebastian
one?
Beneker.
No, I wasn't there that day.
Oh yeah. These fuckers, they're fucking with us inside big time.
I doubt it.
With
It's
the
probably
remote.
automated.
What?
It's probably automated. Should I get the controller?
It shouldn't be.
Let me
Fuck.
get that right quick.
Okay. Sebas is going to get the controller right now. That's what happens when you live in a multi-million-dollar house. Sometimes your biggest problem is the waterfalls come on. And it wakes you up. It puts you in a bad mood. Like, fuck, the waterfall should not have come on right now. And then you're pissed off the rest of the day. That's crazy.
It's probably a timer. What time is it? I don't know.
I was just saying, whoever owns this house must, whoa, that would have been funny. Get Sebas falling in the pool.
I'm glad it didn't happen.
Whoever owns this house, that must be like their biggest. Oh, that one turned off too. Look at that.
Oh, perfect.
Cool.
All right, great.
But yeah, back to the TikTok.
Sebastian? Yeah.
Yeah, Sebastian. I'm surprised. I thought he came over like twice. He did.
Yeah, but I never met him.
You didn't see the interview I did with the plunger?
Nah.
Oh yeah, I interviewed him. I didn't have a microphone stand, so I put a mic on the top of a plunger.
No way.
And I was just interviewing. Yeah, no, it's 1733.
Was it for the podcast?
Yeah. Oh, actually, this was pre-podcast. This is when I was just doing interviews on my channel,
Oh, yeah.
which I always think of whether I went the right route or not, whether making a new channel is the move or if I should have just kept it all under Scott Hilse.
Yeah, I've thought about that before, like making a separate channel, but I feel like, at least for your podcast, since your audience is the people you've been having on the podcast are like e-com or business related.
Yeah.
I feel like that would have worked well because it's like a different story if you have like you start posting gaming videos or something like that.
Right.
Where you definitely want to have a separate channel, but I think you would have been fine if you put it on your channel. It probably would have been like an easier path to blowing up your podcast.
It's hard to say. I asked Human, and Human gave me the advice not to. He said 100% don't. And his reason was people subscribe to you for a certain type of video.
Yeah.
And if you start throwing podcasting, you don't know how they'll react. So it's good because on the podcast channel right now, I got 2,400 subscribers.
Yeah.
But every video is getting between at least like 2,000 views. So it's almost a 100% view rate from my
Even
phone.
more because I was seeing
Yeah.
Lucas, Fez's,
12,000.
Mikey's,
Mikey's at 10,000.
way more.
Fez is at like 8,000. So I think maybe for the algorithm long term, it's going to be good.
Yeah, I mean, once it pops off, you're gonna have two big channels. But I think for the startup, like when you were getting started and you had like zero, I think you would have been fine
Yeah.
for sure.
Only one way to find out though.
Yeah.
So what's your plan with YouTube right now? What's going on? Everyone wants to see the new content.
Yeah, well, I'm working on the brand that I've been working on for like 6 months.
Are you able to talk about the brand at all? Not yet?
Yeah, not yet.
Okay,
I kind of want to like really like just get that perfect and huge before I say anything. So it's like, oh shit, that's your brand, like out
Yeah.
of nowhere. Like not that it matters, but I don't know. I just want to keep it like separate, the
Mhm.
personal brand and that. But yeah, I've been working on that for like 8 months actually. I started working on that when we still lived here. So that's kind of why I moved, or because of COVID, and then
Right.
I was like, bro, it's easier to build a brand in Miami rather than because what we had going on there, it wasn't really too.
Wasn't
You couldn't
too
really
productive.
focus too much,
Yeah.
right? So I was like, COVID's happening, and I have this idea. I want to kind of like move back and focus in like at home, and then that's pretty much what I did. I went home and I was locked in for like 3 months because obviously quarantine.
Right.
And just I was on the computer anyway. So YouTube wise, back to the question, I kind of want to get this brand, just pretty much automated, or I want to have, because right now I spend a lot of time on it, and I want to go straight to the videos that I really want to do. So the last 3 videos I dropped, which were like more like vlog wise,
Yeah.
more like style, like the day in the life. I want to make more videos like that and more like travel life, cool life content.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously that requires for you to be able to do whatever, maybe an hour a day of work, 2 hours. But
Yeah.
right now I'm not in the headspace where I could just do that. So I kind of want to drop maybe once or twice a month right now, just to keep like the people that really support me, you know,
Mhm.
giving them content. But as in the type of content I want to make, I can't really give it, you know, a time frame, because I don't know if the brand's gonna pop in 6 months and
Right.
maybe I could sell it, exit it, and I'm set, and I could just focus on little brands and I don't know, different stuff. So as of right now, I'm thinking 1-2 videos, especially here that we're in LA. Like I've been having Piero record a few videos, like yesterday when we went to surf.
Oh yeah.
That's cool content.
That's
that,
so
you know, the
sick.
people are gonna enjoy. We talk business. They know everybody in the videos because they follow the same type of people.
Yeah.
So those videos will be cool. But as in like the end goal, YouTube wise, that I actually want to do, I'm not sure yet. Hopefully, early 2021.
Early 2021.
Yeah.
Now, how often? Like, what is the amount you think is like the perfect in terms of both a consumer and a producer? What do you think the amount per week is the perfect amount of videos?
I think 1 a week.
1 a week.
Yeah, like a great video a week, like Sundays,
Like
an
Beheza
episode.
style.
Yeah, does he do that 1 a week?
Once a week. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's perfect. Like just put a lot of work in to make a great piece of content every week,
Yeah.
and you'll have a way stronger audience than if you're dropping every day the same video you did 3 months ago.
Exactly, and we were talking about that earlier.
Yeah.
Like, certain YouTubers do that.
Yeah,
And
which is it works for them.
Not really.
Nah?
Not the one I'm thinking of.
Yeah?
It does
Well-
not working for him. It actually destroyed his account.
No way.
I think we both know who I'm talking
yeah,
about, but
yeah.
we've never been like that. I don't know. Something about making the same video over and over again, just strictly for views.
2020
It-
updated.
It just seems ingenuine. Like the opposite of
Ingenious?
genuine,
Like, yeah,
whatever that is.
genuine.
Yeah.
I don't think that's a word, but yeah, we'll
Yeah.
take it.
So tell me about how you started dropshipping, because I think we talked about it a little bit at the mall that one day.
Where
With-
we did the meetup,
No. When we went to Babibo or whatever it's called.
Baby Bob.
BB Bob. Remember you talked me a little bit about the bunk and the sunglasses, the Quavo glasses.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we still lived here when that happened.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So to fully throw it back, I pretty much. So I grew up in Colombia, right? I was in Colombia till I was 12, and then I moved from Colombia to Miami.
How was Colombia as a kid, by the way?
Dope, bro. It reminds me a lot. Well, the city I'm from reminds me a lot of LA.
Really?
Like people might think Colombia is like super dangerous, and
That's what I thought.
yeah, you might think it's like a jungle. I don't know what people think. But
That was
it's
a jungle.
actually. I grew up there for 12 years, and I never got robbed. Never.
Did you see any cartel activity at all?
Nah.
Really?
Not really. I only saw a shooting once.
Yeah.
And that was because it was some random shit. I was playing soccer.
Mhm.
But you can see that everywhere. I've seen shootings in LA. Like
Right.
I've heard the gunshots. You feel me? Like that happens anywhere. So yeah, 12 years there. Nothing ever bad happened. Nothing happened to any of the people I went to school with.
And your
my
parents grew up there,
family.
right?
Yeah.
Did they tell you any stories about the cartels? Because I guess in the 80s is when it was
It was more
probably the
prominent.
crazy. Yeah.
For sure. Yeah, for sure. My dad definitely kind of has to do with the people you surround yourself with.
Mhm.
Growing up, he just told me that at some points he surrounded himself with like people he shouldn't have been with.
Yeah.
And he definitely saw people he shouldn't have seen. Or
Did he
any
ever
of the
see Pablo?
situations. Nah, definitely not.
I heard he used to walk around and just hand out money to everybody.
Yeah, from where he was from.
Yeah.
But he's from a different city,
Where's he from?
Medellin, I think. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, he's
Medellin?
from Medellin.
Oh, wow.
Which is like probably the coolest city. I haven't been there yet, but that's where everybody hypes up about Colombia.
Yeah, this one girl I'm talking to actually lives there right now.
Yeah, it's a cool city. I want to go for sure before the year ends. So yeah, I don't know. I love Colombia. I love going back. The food there's amazing. The quality of life, I think it's pretty good.
Is it pretty humid?
Humid.
Yeah.
So the city I'm from is just like this. It reminds me a lot of like everything, bro. Like the mountains, everything. Like LA. That's why I like LA so much.
Oh,
I think
that
it
makes
reminds me of
sense.
home a bit. And yeah, so I grew up there till I was 12. Then I moved to Miami, unexpected, like bro, randomly. I get home one day, and I'm told, oh, we got approved like for our papers. We're gonna move to Miami,
Wow.
and we're gonna send you ahead of time since you finished school, so you can start the next year. So that was super depressing for me for like 2 months.
You went by yourself to
I moved
Miami?
here. My grandma was here.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, they pretty much had to finish a few things out there, and I had to come to Miami just so I could get school started and stuff because I had to apply to school. They had to like do a bunch of shit. So I get to Miami, and the reason I brought up Colombia, growing up in Colombia, bro, I used to watch like random shit about the states, like United States, and
Yeah.
like people like living life. I was keeping up with like the rappers and the people that were popping, and I was like, yo, that seems crazy. Like I gotta have that life one day. Like, and in Colombia, so I didn't know I was moving to the United States until I was 12. So I used to say, I want to have that life. On my way to school, there was like a Porsche dealership, the only one in the city. Nobody there had Porsches and stuff like that because it's foreign. And even like here in the state, like United States, like you think Porsches are cool. In Colombia, it's even like more, right? Never saw a Lambo, never saw a Ferrari out there. Like you only see that if you're chilling with like people that have a lot of money, and it's way more rare to see that there. So growing up, I was like, I gotta have that life somehow.
Were you speaking English?
Not at all. Not at all.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So I was like, I gotta have that life somehow, and I knew back then that I was gonna have it. I just didn't know how. I had no idea. So then I moved to the States. I don't know English at all. So I kind of go to school. I start going to school, and I have no idea like about the language or anything.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it was tough. But somehow within a month, I learned the language. Everybody.
One month?
Yeah, it was literally a month. And I don't know, that was everything was pretty good. And then I kind of started believing in like, damn, I'm here. It's a lot more possible for me to like achieve all my dreams and like kind of like live the life I've always wanted. I always wanted to be a soccer player. That was like my goal way back in Colombia.
Yeah, when I picture people in Colombia, I picture a lot of kids running around kicking a soccer ball.
Yeah, bro, that's literally like life growing up out there. Like soccer, everybody there, like soccer's literally part of culture. Soccer, like in school, and when you have like your break, after school, people are usually in a team. Like it's competitive.
Is anyone playing baseball or anything?
at
Just
all.
soccer?
I think everybody hates
Football?
baseball out there. No, nobody likes any other sport. Like basketball, football. You don't see nobody
No,
plays
I mean
football.
football.
Oh yeah,
Is
yeah,
that what you guys
yeah.
call it out there? Because
Yeah,
it's
football.
Spanish, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Football. So yeah, that's the only sport that pretty much exists out there. I mean, you have cycling and other things, but like ball related sports, obviously other people play things, but mainly like 99.9% of things are soccer. So that was always my dream. I was like, yo, I'm gonna become a professional soccer player.
Hell yeah.
I'm gonna live the life, do the thing that I love, and then live the life that I want. Like be able to travel, go to Europe. I used to look at Europe like paradise. Like, yo, I gotta go to London one day. So yeah, I moved to Miami. I kept playing soccer, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna get nasty at soccer, and I'm gonna now that I'm here, I have more of a shot. But yeah, I played soccer all the way until like I was 19 in the 18, 19 in an actual team, I think. That didn't pan out, obviously.
Did you play in college?
No, I didn't. Yeah, so because kind of I didn't know how the structure here worked. It works very different as to how it does in Colombia. In Colombia, you pretty much join the teams, I don't know, smaller division teams, and you kind of like grow up there until you're like old enough to actually, maybe if you're good enough, be part of the team. Here, it's more like you have to go to college, and then from college, there's like a pool of
You get,
people,
like,
the
scouted.
scouts,
Yeah.
and then maybe if someone likes you, they'll send you somewhere, and they'll send you somewhere. So it's like, and you have to be in the right team to get scouted to college, which is
Yeah.
a bunch of things I didn't know, and couldn't really afford because you have to go to these showcases. You have to be in the teams that are a little more expensive because they have scouts coming. And to be honest, I didn't know how it worked, and if I did, I couldn't have afforded it back then. So that leads me to high school. I was like, at that point, I was like, yo, I don't think soccer is gonna really pan out for me. I'm just gonna. I was always like really good at school, even back in Colombia, but I was like, I'm just gonna like focus on getting a good career, and pretty much like getting rich off of that. Like have a career that pays 100K a month, 80K a month.
That's why I hear your GPA was like the highest in the state, right?
Nah, he was capping about that.
Really?
It's like 4.8, which is pretty high, but it's not high as in the state at all.
How the fuck do you get higher than 4? How do you even get to 4.8?
Bunch of AP classes.
Oh, okay, I see. So the highest in the state's 5.0?
Nah, bro, I've seen people with like 8s.
No.
Yeah.
No
yeah,
way.
for sure.
How does that even happen?
30 AP classes, bunch of stuff like that.
Like 30 AP classes all through high school?
And there's people that take like extra, like they'll go to like college after school, and take like
Oh my
extra
God.
classes. Yeah, for sure. There's people that definitely did that.
So you're in the top 1% easily.
So the school I went to a school from 7th grade to start of junior year, which was the school I went to when I got here from Colombia. And then junior year, it was like a very small school. Like our class was 100 people, and it was a charter school, so it was very like closed off. Like you didn't really meet people. So when junior year came around, I really wanted to have the high school experience, like an actual school where they actually had a soccer team.
Right.
So there was a school close to the one I went to. It had 5,000 students total. It was a huge school. Well, the school I went to before that didn't have a team, so I was like, last shot to see if maybe I make it to college soccer.
Yeah.
Let me go to the school, try out. So I left to that school 2 months into junior year, just transferred, didn't really know anyone there. And I was like, this could be either the worst decision of my life or I meet people and it turns out to be cool. And it was actually probably like the best decision of my life. Went there, made the team, we played. Didn't really play much in the team. The team had like 30 people. It was soccer-wise, it was an awful experience. But besides that, I met the people. Not that I talked to them back then, but everybody, like, we kind of came together after. And yeah, so yeah, back to the topic of like school. Junior year, I was like, I want to go to Princeton. I want to go to like a great school. I'm gonna make sure I get a good degree. I'm gonna get a great job, and I'm gonna live my life like that. So I graduate. I didn't end up applying to the schools I wanted to because at the time it was like $70 an application, and I was like, nah, I'm gonna apply to 2 schools, and whichever one I get into and I could afford, I'll do it. It's super hot today.
Oh yeah.
So I applied to FIU, UF, the Florida ones pretty much because out of state tuition was crazy.
Oh yeah.
So I didn't get into I got into UF, FSU, and FIU.
FSU has crazy in-state tuition, right?
I'm not
Like
sure.
in a good way. I think I was looking at FSU and out of state was like 36,000
Yeah,
and in state
it's
it was like
almost double.
3,600.
Yeah, and I had a scholarship for FSU, but bro, it's a party school, and I was like, I don't know if I want to leave Miami just to go party. Would have been cool, but whatever. I go to FIU, and then when I'm there in school, I start realizing, bro, I'm learning the same shit I learned back in high school.
Wait, before you get to this, I think you mentioned something about how you overslept one night.
Oh, for a scholarship.
Yeah. What happened with that?
Okay, so there was a scholarship for a college in Syracuse, New York.
Yeah.
And it was like, bro, it was like the counselor had to submit you to be able to go there. And pretty much there was like 5 people from our school that were able to go there. And when we get there, it's like 100 people. And then out of those 100 people, I think 20 people were going to get like a full ride to Syracuse. Is the only like big college I remember, but the other ones were like cool too, but I don't really remember them. So it's a pretty high chance of you making it. Like,
yeah,
they made the whole thing like very based on your ability to like communicate and I don't know, overall be like a cool person besides just grades. So I went the first time and they cut like I think like half of the people. And then I got the call back to go for like the second time. And for some reason, I was like really looking forward to it. I was like, yo, Syracuse, it's going to be super lit. I really believed I was going to get it. Like I was, for some reason, 100% sure it was going to happen. And then, bro, I'm thinking about it the whole week. And then for some reason, the Friday of the callback, I end up after school, some friends are like, yo, let's go to the sushi spot. And I'm like, oh, for sure, let's go. And then the thing was Friday, 3 p.m. So you had to leave school early in order to do that and everything. And for some reason, I just forgot that day.
Oh, I thought you like overslept. You could just completely forgot.
Yeah, I forgot about it entirely. And then I remember when I get home, because I had told my parents about it.
Yeah.
And they were like pretty excited about it. They were like, oh, full ride to New York. Cool. And then, bro, I get home and I'm like, I realized that I missed the thing. And I'm like, yo, I don't know what to tell them. Like,
wow.
So I never brought it up. I never told anyone. They never brought it up too. I guess they assumed that I just didn't get it and didn't want to bring it up to me. So
until they watched this.
Yeah, I mean, they don't speak English, so yeah, unless you put subtitles.
You're saying this is when you suffer the traumatic loss of a full ride scholarship, and now you're like, fuck, what am I going to do now?
Yeah, no, so this is a little before that, because I was pretty sure the scholarship thing was junior year. So it was around the same time. Bro, I had to find a way to make money because I was working at Chipotle and playing soccer at the same time. But bro, I was making like $8.50 an hour at Chipotle. I had to drive 30 minutes to get there. Then after that, I had to drive back to soccer practice, and it I was the first person that would serve the beans and make the tortillas.
Oh yeah,
Bro.
I could see you doing that.
Oh my god, bro. It's like so hot. Like you see the glass, bro. It's super hot. Like it was just a bad experience. Like I would sweat the whole time I was there. I
Right
started
into
breaking
the
out.
right into the bowls,
Yeah,
dripping
literally,
into
you
the
know, a
bowls.
little seasoning.
How many times do you think you said bowl or burrito?
At least 1,000 times. No,
Oh my
way more
gosh.
than that. Yeah,
A couple
'cause
thousand
that was
times.
when Chipotle was at its prime. That
Yeah.
we'd have lines out the door.
Yeah.
So the whole right now when you go, it's like chill. Like you don't even have to make a line. Back then, Chipotle was trending. It was like popping. So you'd go there and like the line would go out the door, like 30-minute wait, pretty
And
much.
you didn't get any pay benefit for having a huge crowd like that.
Nah, not
Can't
at all.
imagine.
Not at all. So my skin started breaking out because of the humidity of like making tortillas and like sweating. And then from there, I had to go to soccer practice. And the fact that I was driving 30 minutes there and 30 minutes back, like it wasn't. My checks were literally like 190 every 2 weeks. I remember it because the first time I got a check, I went to a store right next to the Chipotle and I bought a pair of Nikes.
Hey.
So I was like, damn, I afforded the Nikes and I had like $20 left over for some dinner.
Oh, yeah.
So I was like, all right, pretty cool. But then I did that for like 5 months, 6 months, and then I was like, nah, I can't do this anymore. So, bro, I started, you know, BJ's. I don't know if you have
Yeah.
that where you're from, right? Yeah, okay. So I started going there and buying the chocolate boxes, and then I'd pull up to school the next day and like sell them for $1 each. So I'd pay
Nice.
like $18 for the whole box. And if I sold out, I'd get like 32 bags. So I was making like $14 every day or two.
Oh, yeah.
So I was like, all right, with this, that's more than enough for me to like cover like my after school eating at McDonald's while I wait for a ride home, or you know, random stuff. At the time, I
Mhm.
didn't have many expenses. So then from there, senior year, I found out about AliExpress. Funny enough, because drop shipping at that time, I had no idea what that is. But I found out about it somehow. I think I got an ad or something, and I was like, I saw a bunch of like, bro, polo hats, loci bracelets, a bunch of stuff, and I was like, yo, I could maybe like the loci bracelets were like 50 cents.
Yeah.
On AliExpress. Actually, 18 cents.
They were at the surf shop yesterday, right?
No, that was Pura Vida, I think. That's
Oh,
a different
okay.
brand. The loci
Okay.
bracelets were the ones that have like a bunch of dots, like circles, and then supposedly the black part is supposed to have like mud from the Black Sea, and the white part is supposed to have some other shit. For sure, cap.
But yeah,
Um,
it's some
you get sued for
minerals from
saying this?
China. What?
Can you get sued or something for saying that they're cap?
No.
All right, for sure. Just making sure. So yeah, they're like 20 cents, and I was like, I'm gonna order a bunch and just sell them in school, sell them in a bunch of places. I tested them. I wore them for like 2 weeks just to make sure they were like good quality. And I was actually rocking it. I had a camel one, and I was like, all right, cool. This is cool. I'm gonna start selling them to people. Like I had a private Instagram at the time that like 100 people followed me, like close friends pretty much back then.
Yeah.
So I was like, yo, I'm selling loci bracelets for 15, 20 bucks. If you guys want one, hit me up, because they were popping back then too. Like that was like a trending thing. Surprisingly, I sold out of my first batch.
How
and, like,
many?
I think my first order was like 50 units. Which if you do the math, that was like,
Like $30?
I think shipping was even more expensive than the
Oh,
product
yeah?
itself. So no, it was like 30 bucks total, because 20 cents each. That's like how much for 50. But yeah, so I was like, yo, like I just found out the craziest place. You could literally get things for like 20 cents, $1, $3, and like sell them for like 15, 20.
And how much were you selling them for?
I was selling them for like 15.
Oh, damn.
They'd retail at 30, I think.
So you made good money on that one.
Yeah, a lot, because they'd retail at 30 or 25. They're pretty expensive for bracelets. So I was like, people were getting a good deal. It was pretty much the same product, bro. These people, I'm sure they manufacture it in the same places. Like,
Oh yeah,
there's
definitely.
nothing special about silicone, like like a plastic rubber bracelet. So then I moved on to hats. There was a bunch of cool hats. I started selling hats in school, and then I was making, bro, like 200, 300 a week just flipping shit.
Damn.
And that's when I got my start. But whatever, that died off. I went to college. I started NFIU, and then I was doing computer science and realized that shit was super whack. Like I could not focus, bro. Like I was taking a computer science class, the very first one you take. I couldn't pay attention. Like honestly, it was so far from the type of things I was interested in. I was only doing that because it paid well, 100K a year salary.
Yeah.
But when I was there, I couldn't do it. So I dropped the class. I spoke to my counselor. I wanted to switch my major. And then one day I'm walking to class, and then on the board, like to another class, and then on a board, some guy wrote, looking for developer, pays well, trying to build this crazy idea, and he kind of pitched it. It sounded like a millionaire idea. So I was like, you know what? Fuck it, I'm gonna hit up the guy. So I text the kid, and then he has like an idea, right? And then I'm like, oh, this is what I'm gonna do. Like,
What was the idea?
bro, it was, at the time it was like, kind of wanted to build indoor navigation for malls. So it's like if you're ever in a mall and you're like, oh, where's Hollister or something like that. Usually you have the boards, but like if you don't want to look for that, just it's a super shit idea now that I look back. But at the time, it sounded like a great idea. So I was like, you know what? I don't know anything about coding. He thought I did, but then I told him the truth, and I was like, you know what? But I'll match you. Like I'll split whatever I have saved up. We'll get a developer and we'll get it done. So we ended up investing $5,000 total in a span of like 4 months to some like Indian developer. We never got the product. We never got anything. Those were the $2,500 that I had to my name, all gone to shit.
What happened? Was the guy just scam you?
The
The Indian developer?
pretty much, bro. Like they kept saying, oh, they kept delaying the day, the when it was supposed to be done.
Yeah.
To the point where I was like, you know what, fuck it. Like I started kind of like looking into online business and stuff like that. And I was like, yo, if you want to keep the app, like, do you like figure out if you could get it? But like, I have to move on to other things at that point.
Mm-hmm.
So then I finished my first semester in college, and then I'm in Tennessee December, and out of nowhere I get a Ty Lopez ad.
Where you get a Ty Lopez ad? Yeah.
So I'm there in Tennessee. I'm trying to figure out, like, I hate college at this point. I go from
So this is December 2017.
2016. At this point, I go from loving college a year before that and really trying to make it to like hating it, not finding a career, nothing that I looked for matched what I wanted to do. Like I wasn't gonna be a doctor. I always thought business degrees were worthless. There was nothing there that I was like, okay, that looks cool. So at this point, I'm like struggling, super stressed out because I'm like, nothing there like is gonna fulfill me. So, oh, fuck.
Classic.
I'm just gonna hold it. I'm on YouTube, and I got Ty Lopez ad, and I'm like, damn, this guy's like, it was the original ad. What, the knowledge one? How's it started?
In my garage.
Here in my garage,
Yeah.
and then he started, bro. I watched the whole like 50-minute ad, and then I'm like, interesting, but I never really like, I was always very like careful about get rich online quick stuff. So I was like, it's probably a scam. But then I get back home after the New Year's, and then I'm like, nah, there has to be something I could do online though. So I start going online, and I find out about dropshipping.
Ayo.
Yeah. So I set up a little store. I'm selling beauty blenders. It's something that girls use to like blend their makeup, like a little sponge. And you get it for like cents. So I'm like, this could work. I'm like, you always think your first product is gonna be it. Like you think it's so easy, and I'm like, oh, for sure, that's it. So for a period of 6 months, from January to June, I'm trying this stuff. I try it for 2 days. I'm like, nah, it doesn't work. So I leave for like a month. Then I go back. I'm like, oh, maybe it does work. So I go back. That happens for 6 months of me trying, not really trying. Like when people say they're trying, but they're really not, like that.
Yeah.
And then May comes around, and then I have a public speaking class, and we're supposed to have like a debate. And I just ask my professor, like, I don't know why people put so much emphasis in college. Like, it's not really necessary. And he agreed, but everybody else in the class thought I was crazy. They were like, yo, like...
The way the professor agreed, but
the professor agreed.
Said...
He was super, like, open-minded. He was like, yeah, I definitely think that people put a lot of, like, pressure in college. They think that's the only way out. And I disagree. And a lot of people there were like, oh, like, what are you saying? Like, if you want to make money, you can't be a bum. Like, you have to go to college. And I was like, nah, like, I'm going to make this shit work. So I get home and I really start taking it seriously. Every single day I'm testing like new products. I didn't know Facebook ads at the time. I was more towards Instagram influencers, until June comes around. So college is done, and I tell myself this summer, interesting story. I feel like I'm just telling the whole story.
I love it. That's what I'm here for. That's what everyone watching is here for.
All right,
love
cool.
it.
Step by step, not missing a detail. So the breakthrough point, like the point where I just broke down and I'm like, nah, that's it. I'm done. I'm making this shit work. I was taking a calculus class, which I didn't pay attention to at all the whole semester, just because I was focused on the whole like learning more about like e-com and like make different business models, social media marketing, because Forex too. I actually got hooked by some guy that told me Forex was the way. I paid him like $200 to be part of a group. Didn't work out. So I pretty much tried everything. Like people think that when they see us, they're probably like, oh, they found drop shipping first product that worked perfectly, and now they're
Nope.
living the life. Bro, I tried social media marketing. I tried Forex.
Same. Yeah.
I tried drop shipping. I tried Amazon. I tried eBay, like selling shit on eBay.
Drop shipping eBay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And not, bro, I'd pay inventory. I'd be like,
Oh.
and then I'd try to ship it, which fortunately most of the time I was able to like get rid of the stuff, but it wasn't really too profitable. So, bro, I tried so many things, like, until drop shipping was like, so then I'm taking that calculus class, which I didn't pay attention to. And then the day of the final comes, I have like a C in this period of time in the class until the final. And then I see the final, I take a look at it, and I'm like, nah, there's no way I'm passing this. So it's a whole auditorium. Like 5 minutes into the test, I just get up and I'm like, I hand the test. And like before I handed the test, I was like, I'm dropping out. That's it. Like, I'm not coming back.
Did everyone hear you in the class?
No, I thought it to myself.
Oh, I thought you said that to the teacher and walked away. That would have been
Imagine
way more
on
dramatic.
some milk boy shit, I just send up and tell everyone I'm dropping out. Nah, so I think to myself, like, I can't keep doing this. Like, there's a life that I want to live. It didn't happen with soccer, but I'm still gonna make it happen.
Yeah.
And I'm not this major I was majoring in. I knew I wasn't gonna enjoy that. So I get up, I hand the test. The professor, that happens. Like, they're not gonna ask you what's wrong. Like, you just hand the test and leave. And then I'm super happy. Like, I don't know, I turned the test, and usually I was very like, I have to get straight A's. I was always like very school minded. But when this happened, I was like, fuck it. I'm happy. Like, I feel like this was the right decision. So I get in my car and I'm like, I'm gonna play some Drake, like hype Drake, and I play Underground Kings. And then I was jamming the whole song, windows down, blasting it after like just completely not even bombing it because I didn't even put anything. And then there's a line where he's like, fuck.
I remember that part.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, right?
He
He's
said,
like,
oh, fuck. That
No,
was my
no, no.
favorite part of the song.
he's like, okay, so why am I in class if this is who I'm trying to be like?
Oh,
So I
yeah.
drop out. Lessons I was taught are quick to fade. As soon as I realized that turning papers in won't get me paid.
Yeah.
And then when he said that, I was like, holy shit, that's incredible. Like, I just dropped out. I didn't even know he was gonna say that. And then
That reminds me of smoking weed under star projectors.
yeah,
Guess we'll never know where Harvard gets us.
bro, Drake is the GOAT. Like, I think a lot of like my success and like the inspiration came from that, to be honest. Like,
Yeah.
a lot of lyrics that are like super motivational.
Dropped out of school, now we dumb.
Literally, bro.
rich.
So I heard that and I was like, all right, yeah, that's it. I was super happy. I was like, this is gonna be like the song I listen to every day going forward, and I'm gonna go all in on the e-com stuff. So I keep trying stuff. Things are flopping.
This is what Sebas is actually listening to after he dropped out.
Literally, bro. Who listens to that? That's crazy. People listen to anything.
A lady in a red Mercedes. That's who listens to that.
And then I'm trying drop shipping, and then the Quavo Glasses, which was like my first hit. I find them on AliExpress, and then they're like some shades that are like very like hippie-ish.
Like gold trim.
Yeah. So I put them on a site for $12. I was getting them for like $4. I just wanted sales at this point. Even if it wasn't profitable, I just wanted like something.
Right.
So I tell myself, June comes and I'm like, I have to make $10,000 profit before school starts again for me to be able to tell my parents, like, I'm going to drop out. Because otherwise they would have been like, yo, you're crazy.
Yeah.
If I show them $10,000 in my bank, they can't tell me anything.
Exactly.
Like, even at that point, like, I wouldn't have left, but at that point, you could live on your own pretty much. With $10,000 saved up, you could figure it out. So I was like, 10K and I'm dropping out for sure. So June comes around. I find an influencer, a meme page, and I make my first $700 a day, which was great. I was in the park chilling with my little brother, taking care of him because, you know, summer. And then the post goes on. $700 one day. I was like, holy shit, that's it. I figured it out.
And how much profit was that?
Like $500.
Yes.
Because the post was $40.
Ha.
And the product was like $200. So after that, it was like $500. And I was like,
Wait, what were you selling for 200?
no, like total, because it was $800. So the total product cost was $200.
Oh,
after
okay.
all
Oh,
orders, yeah.
okay. Yeah.
So I was like $500 at profit, which got my bank account to like $800 because I had like $300 before that.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm like, all right, for sure. If I do this 10 more times before summer, with the same person, I thought the influencer page was just gonna work forever. So it actually worked for like 5 more times, but every time it'd be less.
Mm-hmm.
So first time was like 700, second time was like 500, third time was like 500, and it kept going down, to the point when July came around,
July 2017.
17, right? And I had like 2.5K saved up, the most I had ever had before the savings thing that I had with the app that I just wasted it. So I have 2.5K and I have like a month left. And I'm like, fuck, I'm not gonna make it. Like the influencer's dying out. I tried another influencer and got scammed for $100. Because I just wanted to chase that first moment. I thought that if I just did the same thing with another influencer, it was gonna be the same outcome every time. Yeah. That wasn't the case. The first influencer worked, but then I tried the second one. He scammed me. I tried another one. It didn't. It got like 2 sales, barely broke even. So I'm feeling super down. I'm like, fuck, it's not gonna work. I'm not gonna make it. I'm gonna have to go back to school. And then at this point, I'm on YouTube watching Gary Vee. Should I drop out of school? A bunch of like, I'm going on Reddit. If you made it, do you recommend dropping out of school, or I don't know, like random stuff. And then Gary Vee was super against going to school. And I found out that Elon Musk and all these people are like super against school.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, I have something, but I know if I tell it to my parents, they're not gonna give a shit. So I need the fucking 10K. And then, bro, I'm trying out influencers. And then one day, I'm in Atlanta, July 30th. And then I email at 2 in.m. You know Bunk?
Yeah.
The guy I used
Boom
to
gang.
steal a bunch of random shit.
Shout out Boom Gang.
Worst audience you would think to run an ad on. He was getting like 200,000 likes at the time. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to send him an email. Because he had an email in the bio. And I'm like, yo, how much do you charge for story post? He replies 2 minutes later. Literally, bro. Like, I didn't expect the reply. I sent that. And I was like, all right, whatever. He replies with his phone number. Usually they'll reply to you with rates and it's a hassle. Literally reply with a phone number. So I text the phone number. Hey, it's the guy that emailed you regarding the story post. And he's like, yeah, $500, 24 hours. Send to this PayPal. And bro, like, you feel me? Like, business wise, that seems super sketchy. A guy just $500, that's a PayPal. And
Did they say friends and family PayPal?
No, he didn't.
Good. Then
so I was like, you know what? It would be a super bad hit. Like, that was pretty much 20% of my net worth at the time. But it's either it hits crazy, he's getting 200,000 likes, or I lose $500. So I send it, obviously, goods and services. And then the next day comes around, he's supposed to post at 2 p.m. The ad was literally a screenshot of my website with a red drawn Instagram story circle, highlighting the $12 price. So worst ad you could possibly. This wouldn't work in 2020. This only worked back then. So, and then he's supposed to post at 2 p.m. Eastern. So it would be 11 a.m. here in LA. 2 p.m. I thought that was a pretty good time back then. First time doing it, and I was like, all right, that seems like a good time. So 2 p.m. comes around, no post. 2:15, I'm texting the guy, yo, you're gonna post? No answer. And then at this point, I'm literally laying in bed, bro. Terrible feeling. Like I was really about to cry. Like I had that feeling when you're like your chest hurts and you're like really like concerned and you're like so done with everything. I was like, all right, I'm going back to school.
And Boonk was probably fucked up.
Yeah, he was, bro. I don't even know. And then 3 p.m. comes around. My aunt, she has to go to the mall with my cousins, my 2 younger cousins. And she's like, oh, you want to come? We're going to go get some ice cream. And I'm like, yeah, whatever. I'll go. Like, what else do I have to do, right? And then I'm in the car. I put my car. I'm so mad. I don't want my phone on me. I throw my phone literally on the side door. You know, a little pocket that doors have. I throw it in there. And then my phone vibrates. And I'm like, oh, someone texted me. And then another time. And I'm like, I pick up my phone, bro. Literally every minute, I'm getting a sale. I'm getting a sale. And then I show my cousins because I had told them what had happened. They were like 12, 13 at the time. Yeah. So super young, but they were like, they kind of knew what was going on because they knew Boonk because they'd watch his content. And I was like, I'm going to pay this guy. So they're like, oh shit, he posted it. He didn't scam you.
What was your profit per product?
So at this point, I was selling it for $12, charging $2 shipping. So 14. And I had managed to negotiate a deal where I would get the product shipped for $5. So nice. I was profiting 9 per sale, which was pretty good. And then, so bro, insane. Like, this was probably the greatest day of my life, to be honest.
Yeah?
Yeah, because it's like, bro, I went from having $2,000 left after paying him and thinking everything was done. This was July 31st to August 1st, 24 hours. So I had like 10 days before school started.
Yeah.
And I had given up hope pretty much at that point. I was like, yeah, it's pretty much done. So, and then he makes the post, $7,000 first day, $3,000 the following day because it's 24 hours, so it drips onto the next day.
Yeah.
It was literally, I believe, $10,000 total with like $7,000 profit.
Damn. You just quadrupled everything you have.
Yeah,
basically.
it left me like at $9,000 in the bank. For those first 2 days, but for some, people come back, they'll save your site and come back for a few days. So literally within the remaining days, my bank account got to 12,000, and I had a joint bank account with my dad, so he could log into Wells Fargo and see. He would see his balance, his savings, and then under that he would see my checking.
Yeah.
He calls me out of nowhere. He's like, "I noticed He kind of knew what I was doing because when I got the $700 day, I told him about it, like super hyped, and he was like, "Oh yeah, cool." But like he thought it was like a one-time thing and like whatever. But he knew what I was doing. And then one day he sees the 12,000 and he's like, like what's going on, right? And then I tell him what happened, and then he's like super proud. But I didn't want to like break the news that I wasn't going back to school over the phone because I was in Atlanta visiting my mom.
Oh, okay.
So I'm like, yeah, super cool, whatever. And then I get back to Miami, like I enroll in classes. I go the first day because I'm kind of scared to tell my parents. And then when I'm in class, I literally walk out of class. I walk into the class. I'm like, I'll get a shot. I walk out. I go home and I'm like, I tell them I'm not going to go to school this semester.
Damn.
I'm going to take the semester off. I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. And I told them I'm taking a semester off. I didn't tell them I'm dropping out. So I told them that. And yeah, pretty much, I kept doing it with Boonk like 10 times. It got me to like overall profit with just him alone. I'm not exactly sure, but it was for sure like over 50K, just him alone. And then I kept doing like other people, and that's pretty much how I got started.
So you started off pure influencers. When did you start? Did you like try Facebook ads for that same product at all?
Yeah. So I tried Instagram ads at the time, but I would just promote post.
Oh.
And I was doing like $10 a day, maybe like one day I would get like 2 sales because I raised the product price to 20. So some days I would get 2, some days I would break even, some days I would lose. So I was like, I didn't really believe in it. So I didn't really try Facebook ads for like, I think like a whole year after trying influencers, because influencers was working so well that I was like, why focus on something else if that's working well?
Yeah.
Until influencers kind of stopped working. And the thing with influencers is that one day you'll make 10K, but you won't do that again for another 20 days.
Yeah.
It's not consistent. Facebook's more like supposed to be more consistent when it's not fucking around with you.
Well, you worked with Boonk for a while, right?
Yeah, I used them for like 4 months, I think.
Like 8 different times?
More. I paid him like 15 times, I think.
Damn.
At least. I'm not sure. Because obviously the first day was the best out of all times. Then some other times he would do like 3K. He would do it, but he's so underpriced. It was $500 a post.
Right.
So even if he made me $1,000, my margins were good enough that I'd profit like 300, and it was worth it. Like, so the last 10 posts 10 posts that he did for me, we're only doing like 1.5K. But I was like pretty much tripling my investment. So I was like, I'll keep doing it.
Oh yeah.
Until I didn't even stop using him because he died down. He just disappeared. He stopped answering. His Instagram got weird. I think he got deleted. I probably would have kept using him for a lot longer.
Yeah, he made some porn and posted it on his story.
Yeah, he got banned.
Yeah.
That was a bad day because I was like, fuck, I gotta find someone else.
Isn't his name John Cabana?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
So when did you start? When did you start the YouTube? Like, how soon after this happened you started?
Pretty
YouTube?
soon, because that was like that whole span of January to June. I was watching like Amazon FBA guys, and they were doing like 50, 100K with the business they were doing, and then they would do like monthly income reports. So they would be like, oh, this month I made 65K with Amazon, and I was like, yo, I just want to make 3K a month. Like, give me 3K a month,
and then you'll be good.
I remember one day I asked my grandma, what do you think is like a good income, like, because she was super for college. So I'm like, what do you think is like if someone makes that, you think like, oh, they're doing well. She was like, oh, I think 3K a month, you're fine. You could pay
3K
rent,
a month.
You could pay your groceries, and you have a little left over for like, other things. So I'm like, all right, cool. If I get to 3K a month, nobody could tell me shit.
Yeah.
Like, I'm fine. Like 3K a month, that's how much a year? 36. So I was like, I could pay my expenses. I could probably crash here at my parents for like a couple more years. I'm fine with 3K a month. I forgot where I was going to with this. What was the question?
I said, how soon after this did you start the YouTube?
Right.
Yeah.
So I saw 65K a month. People were doing on Amazon. Then they'd post affiliate. Oh, from my affiliate links on YouTube, I made another 20K. And then my course did 300K a month. Tanner J. Fox.
Yeah.
huge Amazon guy. He was doing 300K a month back then. So I was like, I just need 3K, bro. If I have like 100
Mhm.
subscribers, I'm straight. Um, I'm already making the Shopify money. If I can make an extra 3K, 5K with YouTube. So this whole time, like my thing was like, all right, I'm gonna make it with Shopify and I'm gonna start a YouTube channel right away. That's like my dream. So as soon as I make it, I literally start documenting. I have the first 10K day,
Yeah.
and like 5 days after that, I make a video.
Through influencers.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So that was the one that I dropped out of, the Bunk one. So I get home to Miami. I buy a camera with the 9K profit that
What
I made
kind of
off
camera?
that, the G7X. I still have it here.
Classic. What a classic.
To this day, the best camera for like daily vlogging. Whatever.
Yeah.
So I bought it like $700, and I'm like, for sure, I'm gonna start doing this. So Amazon Prime, it got there in like a day, and I started like documenting things, and then I get to Miami and I record how I made $10,000 in one day, in 24 hours using Instagram influencers. So that video got like 3,000 views. I had
Like right off the bat, this is your
Yeah.
first video? Wow.
because at the time there wasn't that much dropshipping competition.
What month is this? In
This was August.
August 2017?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, there wasn't too much. You got Dan De Silva.
Yeah, it
You
was.
got Hayden Bowles probably started making.
He started like a month after me, actually.
Oh, really?
Oh, actually no, because he was documenting other stuff, but dropshipping
Right.
wise, yeah. So it was him.
And Tanner.
I
Tanner
think,
Plains.
yeah, we're all from the same time period.
And there's one more.
There's one more.
I can't really remember.
Sebastian was around that time too. Escueta.
Was he?
Yeah, he was
Wow.
back then. Yeah, I don't remember. There was a bunch of like other people,
Yeah.
but like there were more like agencies doing content, not
Mhm.
like really like people. So they would do like case studies on clients that they worked with, but it wasn't really
Right.
like people like sharing their own stories. So that one did like 3K, and I'm like, oh, that's it. I'm set. Like, I'm about to make like $1 million this year. I'm
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
keep doing Bunk. I'm gonna do YouTube. I'm gonna drop a course.
Killing
It's
it.
gonna be the craziest year of my life. So 2 days later, I just keep posting YouTube videos because I'm like, it's working, and then it just became a thing. Pretty much right after that 10K day.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty cool.
And then when did you post that one series? Your most popular videos are the like day like
a 7 day $0 to $1,000 challenge, I think.
yeah. Did you hit that by the way? Like in
I
the
think so.
videos?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Hell yeah.
I'm pretty sure. So that was literally a month after I got started. So I had posted like 5 videos because I was trying to be pretty consistent. And then the hurricane. This was when the hurricane was hitting Miami, Irma, which was
Oh,
supposed
yeah.
to be like super bad. So interesting story too. I record the video and I'm like, at the time I'm not thinking it's anything crazy because at this point in time nobody was really doing these 7-day videos challenges. So I was like, for some reason I thought that would be like a super cool step-by-step video. So the first video I make, it's like 0 to 1K, I think. I don't know if it's 10K or 1K. I'm pretty sure it was 1K. Because at the time, like 0 to 1K would have been great on YouTube.
Yeah.
Right now, you have to do 0 to 1 mil if you want to pop.
Yeah.
Back then, 0 to 1K, it was more than enough. So I do 0 to 1K. I make the video. The first one was like setting up Shopify, finding a product. 1,000 people copy that store. But whatever. So I finish the video, I edit, and then I post it. Right before you had to kind of go like find where you're gonna stay for the hurricane because it was gonna hit like at 3 a.m.
Oh.
So that was like 6 p.m. I dropped the video. Then I go to my cousin's house because I lived in an apartment, not too safe. Didn't have the things that you put on the glass. The
Oh,
windows to
yeah,
protect.
yeah.
So I go to my cousin's house, which it was in the middle of nowhere. He lived like in a kind of a ranch type thing, like out of the city. So service was awful. We should have thought that ahead of time, but if the Wi-Fi went out, you're pretty much uncommunicated.
Stuck playing board games.
Yeah, pretty much. So I dropped the video, and then light goes out. I have no Wi-Fi. I don't know how the video's doing.
Wow.
Then I get back. The hurricane didn't end up being that bad. So the next day, the hurricane passes. Then the next day, like at noon, my parents are like, "Oh, we're gonna go back home." And then I'm like, "What do you mean? Like it's super scary?" And they're like, "Nah, like I think we'll be fine." So whatever, I end up going home. So somehow we still have power and everything's intact in my apartment. So I'm playing Xbox, I'm playing FIFA. At this time, I'm taking YouTube seriously, but not like that. Like it's not like I was checking my stats to see the subscribers and everything. I was just dropping for fun. And then my cousin texts me like, "Yo, your video's going crazy," and I'm like, "What do you mean?" And then it literally had like, at the time I had like 1,000 subscribers from like some reaction videos that I had done back.
Oh, really?
So I had like 600 from that, and then like drop shipping wise, actually like 400 people from.
You deleted the reaction videos now, though, right? You unlisted
Yeah,
them?
hell yeah.
Okay,
Hell
I
yeah.
thought so.
Cringy.
Dang it.
So I go check, and so I had like 400 actual like ecom subscribers, and then, bro, I go to check and I have like 6,000 views first 24 hours, and I'm like, no
Damn.
way. And my subscribers had like tripled. I had like 2.5K.
Were you doing anything with the YouTube algorithm?
Not at all.
Really, just random
Look, straight. I
tags and
didn't, bro.
everything?
I didn't believe it was gonna, like, I didn't think anything of it. Like my thumbnails, I did them on Canva, like little arrow, like random shit that you'd see Logan Paul and people like that doing.
Yeah, when I started, I didn't even do custom thumbnails. Remember that? It was
Yeah,
just random
you just put a
scenes in the
picture.
video.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. That's crazy. It worked.
Yeah.
Thumbnails are super important. So I just did that. Huge bar in the top of the video saying 0 to 1K in 7 days, something like that.
And it's
I don't remember.
It's like a picture of your face in front of a screen, a
Mhm.
Shopify screenshot, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that worked, and people were like, "Oh, please!" I started getting followers on Instagram, a bunch of DMs. Where's your course? Can you please drop a course? You look like you know everything, a bunch of shit like that. And I was like, "No, I'm not dropping a course yet," because at the time I had only done Bunk like twice,
Yeah.
or maybe a few times. I had way more than I ever thought I would, but I was like, I gotta do this a few more times before I drop a course. And then I just kept that wave going, pretty much. Like it literally happened within, I don't even think it was a month from starting YouTube that challenge popped.
Damn.
That made my channel, bro. Like
Yeah.
to this day, I think that if I hadn't dropped that video that day, for some reason I got lazy or I did something else that day, I wouldn't be here right now.
Yeah.
100%.
It's crazy how those little things can change everything.
Yeah, that video for sure changed my life.
Shout out Irma.
Yeah.
I bet the Irma energy got into you that
For
day.
sure. I was like, I gotta finish this drop today. If I would have dropped a day later, maybe it wouldn't have hit like that. The algorithm's weird.
Yeah.
So that video really made me, I guess, in terms of like what happened after that.
So then what happened after that in terms of 2018?
Yeah, so 2018, I just pretty much kept doing the influencers. Some of them died out, so I started testing Facebook ads. 2018 was a lot of testing.
Yeah.
Because 2017, although I tested a lot, I guess the Bunk thing, you could say I got lucky, because if he didn't answer, that wouldn't have happened. I would have gone back to school. So that email alone, if he wouldn't have replied to
That's
that,
wild.
right? If I would have pussied out and had said, "Nah, I'm not sending you $500," like I would have gone back to school.
Were you doing a lot of YouTube in 2018?
2018, so I kind of slowed down a bit. 2017, I did a lot. 2018, I kind of took a step back. I started going through a lot of courses. I wanted to educate myself a little more. I started reading a lot. So the growth kind of slowed down in 2018. So 'cause 2017 was like Tesla, and then 2018 was more like growing still, but it was like a little more like stagnant. So bro, I was just reading a lot. I was educating myself a lot. I figured that college wasn't really at all the way to go.
Right.
But you still have to educate yourself somehow. So I started reading a bunch of business books, a bunch of books on the books that everybody reads.
Of course.
So and
Think and
then
Grow Rich.
yeah, so I started doing ecom. I was still making solid income from ecom. YouTube was great, but at that point I kind of want to move. I started to think, okay, I got the ecom thing out of my system. I kind of dropped the course like towards end of 2017. Yeah. But not really, because the only thing I would do is pretty much link it in my description on YouTube. Because for some reason I thought that if I promoted it a lot, people were just gonna unsubscribe, dislike. So I was super scared of that. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna drop a course, but I'm just not gonna mention it. So I mentioned it a few times. Just put it in my bio, and it didn't really move. I think if I would have promoted it, I probably would have made a good amount of it. So I just discontinued the course. I was like, nah, I'm just gonna focus on other things. And then February comes around, and I'm like, I don't know if I want to promote a course, but I think if I did events like one-on-one, I've always wanted to travel. I love how artists go on tour for like 60 days.
Yeah.
But I can't sing for shit. So I was like, you know what, maybe I could do like a little ecom event. At this time I have like 10K subscribers on YouTube. So I'm like, I don't know if people will go to an event, but I'm gonna try it out. So that night I literally thought about it in the morning, and that day I was like, yo, that's a crazy idea. Like I could go to like 10 different cities and it'd be cool. So I set up a ClickFunnels, super simple. I pretty much line up what we will talk about. You know George, the Lux guy, George Blue.
I've heard of him, yeah.
So
Faz was telling me about him.
he had done like $1 million in 30 days with his brand.
Jeez.
So I hit him up and I'm like, yo, would you be down to come out to these events? I'll cover your expenses. It'd be cool if you come and share people, because you know more than I do. and more than most people. So it'd be cool if you kind of like tell him what happened. I actually forgot to mention when in September, I went to Arizona to meet him out of nowhere because he was dropping a course, and he was doing like 30K a day. So this is the first time that I saw someone making like crazy stupid numbers, and I was like, yo, I gotta meet this guy. I was like, yo, I'll fly out. I'll literally let you use my results for your course to hype it up. And he's like, nah, that's fine, but just come through to Arizona. You look like, like I just reached out of nowhere. He was like, you look like, you really want it. Just come through and, we'll kick it. He was chilling with like other ecom people. They were much older than me. I was like 18 at the time. He was like 22, I think. So I just came out, kind of talk about Facebook ads. It wasn't more about like ecom knowledge, but just the way I saw he ran his things and everything. It showed me it was possible. Like 30K a day. He was just there chilling. Like, bro, we'd go to a restaurant and I was like super happy about making 1K a day. This guy was like turn off Shopify notifications. Like he'd go like every couple hours to check, 30K, cool, whatever. Doesn't matter. Unfazed. And I was like, yo, I can never turn off my notifications. Like I need that. Like,
do you still to this day?
Nah.
Okay, yeah.
I stopped that like a year and a half ago.
Yeah, it got to be too much.
Yeah. You kind of get used to it at some point. But yeah, I was like, there's no way I would ever do that. Yeah, so 30K, that really motivated me. And then so that's when I met him the first time. Then when the events come around, I'm like, yo, it'd be super cool. I don't know if they're going to sell. But I think if I throw you in there and say you made $1 million in 30 days, people will want to come through. So he's like, yeah, for sure, bro. I'll go to the New York one because he lives in Chicago. So I was like, all right, for sure. So I put New York, Miami, LA, Chicago, Atlanta. I think that was it. So it was like 7 cities.
Like you're going to do all 7?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I literally it was like a drop down. So the cities will come out. You select what city you're from, and you buy it. So I was like, if I get like at least 5 people per city, I'll go to it. And then, so the way it worked is I just set up the funnel. I put it on my Instagram. I dropped a YouTube video, a regular video. And then in the intro, I plugged it. I was like, yo, if you guys want me to help you one-on-one, I'm doing events. And I'm like, because I priced it at $250. So it would make sense because I had to book the conference room. I had to book tickets. Right. I had to, hotel, Airbnb expenses. So I was like, $250 is the lowest I could do. Like, I wish I could do it cheaper. Because I didn't think people would pay $250 to come out to a random event. So I was like, maybe $50 they'll buy it, but I was like, nah, I can't do that. $250.
Hell no.
So if I get 5 people, that's 1.25, and that would more than enough, kind of like help me break even, from all expenses, because the conference room alone were like $500 a day. So yeah, I put the thing. I wake up the next morning and I had like 5 sales for on ClickFunnels, Stripe. Jeez. And then, but the thing is that there were so many cities that I could get like 15 sales, but it would be like 2 in Miami, 2 in New York, 2 in LA. But I announced this with like 2 months of time. So every day I was getting like 3 people, 2 people, 2 people, 3 people, like every single day, to the point where when it came around, bro, it was a huge success. Like,
really?
Yeah, it was probably experience-wise, probably one of the greatest experiences, because seeing that people would be willing to like trust you in terms of teaching them something, and then you could go to different cities, meet people. So cool. From, bro, I don't know anyone. Tour. Yeah, I don't know anyone in New York. LA, I didn't know anyone at the time because I had only been here once. So the fact that you could meet people from different parts, hear their stories, that was the craziest thing. So we did New York. That was the first one. Super nervous. That's where George went. We had 16 people in New York. So New York was great. From New York, I had booked a flight to Rome with my friend to go for a week.
Wow.
So it was New York. We did the 15 people the very next day. We went to Rome for a week. Then I came back. The weekend I got back on a Friday, I think. That Saturday. I think Miami was on a Sunday, actually. Yeah. No, it was on a Saturday. So I get back Thursday night or Friday morning. I go to Ultra Music Festival on Friday for like a few hours because I didn't want to be too tired.
Did you go with Noah?
Event. No, I didn't.
Wow, I'm surprised.
Yeah. So I go for a few hours because I was like, nah, I got to be like rested for the event. So Saturday, Miami event, we had 15 people there. Then a week after that, it was, I think it was LA. So LA was the best one, 22 people. Oh, Toronto too, I forgot to say that. So we do LA, that was 22 people. Then from LA, I had put like a week in between just so I could go back home or kind of like rest. No, it was actually Atlanta. My bad. So Atlanta was after Miami. We had like 15 people there. Then from LA, LA was on a Friday, Toronto on a Saturday. So it was back to back events.
Wow.
So I did LA, flew into LA, did the event. We had 22 people. Dirty Dom pulled up. Mikey Cass pulled up.
Classic.
He bought a ticket. He pulled up. Yeah, I actually did a consulting call with Mikey back in like
Yeah, I
2017,
heard about
bro,
that.
for like $30. Crazy.
Yeah.
So crazy that we ended up living together. But he pulled up to the event too. He pulled up with Dirty Dom, which is one of the kids from
Oh, he was with Dirty
Dobrik's-
Dom?
Yeah,
Wow.
David Dobrik's vlog squad at the time. So, bro, I was living. I was like an influencer pulling up. That shit's
Yeah.
crazy. So I catch a flight to Toronto the next morning. I was in Toronto for literally like 24 hours because I fly in the morning. I don't know anyone at all in Toronto, like no one, bro. And then in the event, Toronto was probably my favorite event because it was the smallest one. There was only like 9 people,
Mm-hmm.
but I always thought Toronto was crazy because of Drake and all the things you hear.
Yeah.
So, bro, the event, everybody there was so cool. After the event, people are like, "Oh, what are you gonna do now? Do you know anyone here?" And I'm like, "Nah." So, like a few people from the event, like 4 people, they're like, "Oh, let's just go to this super hyped Toronto spot. You're gonna love the food." And after that, we could go like grab drinks. So we end up going to like this super college town within Toronto, which is, bro, it's crazy. It's like a 5-story house that somehow is like a bar. And bro, it was such a dope experience. Like it was like just a bunch of cool people there. Met a few people in Toronto, so if I ever go back, you know, I can hit them up. They took great care of me, so it was crazy, bro. It was so dope. So then the next morning, I head back to Miami in the morning, and that pretty much wrapped it up. I canceled Chicago because not many people bought for that one. So
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, Toronto's sick. I remember I had a meetup there. It was just like
Yeah.
a normal meetup, and I was like, meet at the mall.
Yeah,
And 24-hour notice, and like 35, 40 people showed
No
up.
way.
So weird.
that's great. Bro,
That-
people are extremely nice out there.
Yeah. Every single one.
Yeah.
There's like this 40-year-old MILF who pulled up too with her kids. It was very weird. But
That's
weird for me
crazy.
because it was like the MILF was like, I don't know, long story. But you're
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
big into music.
I
You-
love
like
music.
not many people know this, but you coordinated a Gunna concert.
Oh yeah.
Tell me more about that.
That was shortly after. Oh, that was 2019 actually. Yeah, so 2018. So the events happen. I keep doing YouTube, whatever.
And that's funny about the events because I had that same idea back in St. Louis.
You mentioned you said it in Miami.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and we talked about it. I
Oh,
told you
yeah.
kind of like that was the first time we met, and I was like, oh yeah, I kind of did that back in 2018, and you're like, oh yeah, that'd be super.
Oh,
dope.
really?
Yeah. So that'd be dope. I think if you did it, you'd crush, bro, for
Yeah.
sure. Because your audience, I mean, I did it when I had like 10K,
Yeah.
so you could for sure do way bigger events.
Not right now.
Nah,
COVID,
definitely
yeah.
can't. COVID. It's gonna be a while till you could do that.
Yeah.
Any in-person events. But yeah, so the Gunna thing, I always wanted to do like music events. I always wanted to do a lot of things, bro.
And I forget the name. What do they call the people who do the music events? Not promoters, but
Producer? I don't know.
I
Not
can't
sure.
remember.
Event producer? I'm not
Something
sure.
like that.
Is it like a specific word?
Yeah.
Oh, no, I'm not sure.
Oh well.
But yeah, so I always wanted to do like events too. Like that's one thing about me, bro. I want to do a bunch of shit. Like I feel like you have one life, so you know, acting is one thing that I want to get into.
Oh, yeah.
I love music. So music, I had met. How did I meet? I met this kid back in like 2015. And his thing was like investing into music events. So he had done Tory Lanez, I think, when he was smaller. He had done Travis Scott, and then he saw that I was kind of like making some good money from YouTube and everything. So he reached out to me. He's like, "Yo, we have like Gunna. We kind of want to like book him. He's never done a show in Miami. I think it'd be pretty cool." So that was in like, I think I'm not okay. So that happened. The Gunna thing was in August. So he came to me in like April, and then he was asking for a decent amount of money at the time. If I would have lost that, I would for sure
How much was he asking for?
would have hit, bro. I think it was either 20 or 30K.
Yeah.
One of those two. I think it was 30K because I went to a friend, which is a guy I met recently, not recently, like with the timeline of
Right,
the
right,
story,
right,
like
right.
he was from high school, but I had met him at the time period, like 2 months before that. And then, so this guy, I'm going to explain the background of the story so you
Mhm.
can understand. So this guy went to the same high school as me. We never talked. I had no idea who he was. We had a friend in common. and the friend in common would tell me like, yo, this guy's ripping you. He's saying that your YouTube is like that you're a troll, whatever. You're making videos about crypto now, because I made like some good money in crypto back when it was popping. So yeah, this guy thinks that like everything you say is cap, whatever. So we kind of had like some little beef back and forth, not really, but like it was like some tension. And then he moved to Miami and we met. And the first day we met, he had made a crazy amount of money from crypto. And I had done the ecom thing, so we kind of like came together and we are like, yo, we could do like cool things if we work together. So ever since that day, like we just this TYP thing, it's like the music label
Oh,
that
really?
he has, and everybody, it's like a collective. So ever since that, that's been like the team with Dressy and everything. So I go to him like, yo, this guy's asking for, bro, I'm pretty sure it was 30K. So I'm gonna say 30K, either 20 or 30. So I'm like, this guy's asking for 30K or 20. Well, I'm not sure. Whatever, it doesn't matter. The point is, I went to this guy and I tell him I don't feel comfortable doing the whole amount. But if you match me in half, we'll do it. And he's like, because at the time he was working with News, which you've heard about, I think.
Oh yeah, classic news.
Yeah. So I was like, yo, it'd be pretty cool if we kind of match on it, and then, because he was News manager, he is. So he could open for Gunna. It'd be like a cool exposure experience.
Wait, news open for Gunner?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So we went ahead and matched, but in the terms of the contract, we're like, but he has to open. So it ended up being a cool experience. It was great content for YouTube. So we kind of did it just for YouTube, for news opening, and just to get our feet in the water.
So did you
pretty
just
much.
like break even?
Yeah. It
Gotcha.
was like we made some money, but after a few months, there was some issues that happened that came around. They were talking about chargebacks. They were talking about some things. So it was good at the end of the day because we got what we wanted pretty much. But financially, it wasn't anything crazy.
How was Gunna in person?
We already talked to him much. Like
Really?
he's in the back with his security.
Well, you took a photo with
I
him,
took
right?
a picture with him,
Yeah.
and I was there like around him and his people for some time. But they're definitely very protective, especially because Miami, you never know what could happen. I mean, X got killed there.
Right.
You know, a lot
Well,
of
that was
people,
his hometown, right?
Yeah.
Up in Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah. And I think, no, X hadn't died at the time. That was, he had recently, like 2 months before
really?
that. So, you know, everybody was very careful about what was going on,
Mm-hmm.
very protective. So even if it's like backstage, they were very like secluded. So I
Yeah.
didn't talk to them, to be honest.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So you do music. You're into. Are you like even doing that anymore? Or are you more focused on the label itself, the collective?
Yeah. So what I've done pretty much with that is helping with marketing, which is what I know, along with Dressy, the Instagram ads, you know, YouTube ads, stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, I mean, they're cooking up content. Puku, which you know about, is about to do a project.
Oh yeah.
So they've kind of been like making the music for the past year and a half period. So as soon as it's ready and out, they just recorded a crazy music video back in Miami. Super
with
high
the
budget.
with the drift car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen it.
I saw clips of it.
Yeah, bro, it's crazy, like label status, but funding wise, so much money goes into becoming an artist. If you
Oh,
do
yeah.
it the right way, that it becomes tough to kind of like keep that going. If you have a label, they take a cut, but they give you as well.
Yeah.
So it's a very hard decision for an artist to do that.
Do you think Puku's leaning towards more being completely independent? Because you guys work with like United Masters, right?
Yeah, he releases through there.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if he's still, as far as I know, yeah, but I'm not sure if still. Last time I heard, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So what are you up to nowadays, business wise?
Honestly, I have the brand that I've been working on for like 8 months. It's definitely the most committed I've been to a brand ever. It's been a long time, super stressful. You deal with a lot of things that you don't deal with dropshipping wise. You have to worry about inventory. I have 2 employees back in Miami. We have an office.
Yeah.
When I'm here, they go every day to ship orders. Then they text me like, yo, we ran out of paper.
Do you ship out of Miami?
Yeah, we ship out of Miami.
Sebas isn't fucking around. He said, I'm ordering 1 million units just for COVID.
Gotta have everything ready. No, but I do think that there's a chance that COVID gets things like stopped again, and that's not something I want to do again. Okay, because back in February, I did run up a store, like a dropshipping store, because the brand that I'm currently working on, it required a lot. It's not just inventory. It has like developer costs. It has a bunch of
Right.
like backside things. So it's very expensive. So I was like, I have to run up a store in order to kind of fund this. So that was somehow it turned out to be like one of the best stores I ran up profit wise. So I was doing Google Shopping alone for that. It was actually resistance bands when COVID started and gyms closed, and I ran that up to like 260K in 20 days.
Damn.
With a profit margin of 70, not margin, I don't know the percentage, but the profit was like 75K.
Damn.
And then I sold the site because I didn't want to focus on that as a brand. I just wanted like a quick cash cow to make some money and fund this entirely. 75K, then I sold it for 15K, so 90K profit in 20 days with that one, and pretty much reinvested like half of that into just getting this brand that I'm currently working on perfect. Like,
And it's going well.
yeah, it's been going pretty well. It's definitely a lot of stress. There's a lot of things because it's like, it's not just a product that you're selling. There's like the whole user experience and the app side of things. But overall, I think it's going well. I mean, we have a few things lined up that I'm looking forward to. And yeah, hopefully I could exit it at some point, like 1-2 years down the road. That's the goal, to be honest, with this one.
Gotcha.
I want this to be like the last brand that I work on, kind of because I need it in terms of like financially to be like set. And then everything else after that to just be like passion projects. Like the whole music thing, I want to be able to like fully focus on it, because it's hard to like kind of like split yourself into helping with that and this and that when you want to still figure yourself out. The whole acting thing, definitely want to do that. Event producing, it's fun, but it just requires a lot of funds up front. And if I do it again, it's for sure going to be either alone or with another partner that I trust entirely, because if you have a bunch of partners, it's a mess. So I definitely want to do that, but I need more funds in terms to do it alone. And yeah, just a bunch of cool things I want to do. YouTube for sure.
Yeah, what's your plan with YouTube now, since you've been off for so long? How are you gonna attack it this time?
Bro, the same way that I did it back in March. November, when we moved to the house. That was the longest gap that I ever took off YouTube. It was like 8 months. Then I dropped the video of moving into the house and it did numbers. So super thankful that people were still there to support. And then I just kept dropping, had the best views consistently that I ever had, with the views that we did with the fest thing, with the Valentine's Day thing. The day in the life, those videos did great numbers compared as to when I was dropping like consistently. So I think I'm just going to do the same thing. Just have something cool happen, or have a cool video, a cool story. Maybe talk about the brand at that point, how I took this brand from 0 to, and that would be just to like give a summary of what happened, because I don't want to do like how to e-com videos anymore. I want to do more like lifestyle, day to day, like really showing you what's going on. If I do incorporate that, or just like, I don't think I'll ever take business out, because I feel like I kind of owe it to the audience to like teach them things and kind of give them updates. So I can't just go the full J Alvarez content where it's just cool shit. And
you can do whatever you want. It's your channel. Yeah,
but I feel like I kind of want to have some value in it, where if people watch a cool piece of content, they get something out of it too.
Entertainment's the value. That's what I'm realizing recently.
You think so? What about you? I mean, what do you want to do down the road?
Entertainment-based value videos.
Give me an example.
Okay, so it's hard to say what I can talk about. Well, for example, right now, dropshipping videos, the value they get out is the dropshipping itself.
Right.
But the reason J Alvarez videos are way more popular is because the value that people get out of that is pure entertainment.
And inspiration.
And everybody's down for that. Not everybody's actively searching for dropshipping videos, or not everybody's actively searching for stock videos. So if you can mend that gap between those who actively search for it and those who actually just want to watch entertainment videos, and then meet them in the middle, it's a beautiful combination for a lot of different reasons. And so that's what I'm like, the how-to videos, like you're saying, it's just like, man, so draining.
Yeah, and
very
also
draining.
I feel like out of the 100, well, I feel like you and I are different than most of the industry, because we've always added like our own twist to it. Like we've always added like, I know you've made your videos funny. Like the day in the life one where you're eating, what was it? Frosting.
The frosting with the bang.
And you got in the jacuzzi with clothes. Like people like that, you know, they're subscribing because they find you funny as well. I added the music things. I did like day in the life vlogs. I added like random shit. Like I drop back then top 10 Shopify apps, and the next day I would drop shopping spree in Miami, and then eating at the Versace mansion.
People love that.
And people thought it was cool, not just because it was like on some like flexing stuff, but because they saw like the whole story from like when I first made my first 10K day to like trying cool shit.
Yeah.
So they relate to that as compared to like a lot of people who just drop content in order to sell a course. Like they'll do like strictly Shopify content. Out of the, let's say you have 10,000 subscribers, only 200 people of those, for them, would actually stick to a complete shift in the channel. As I feel like if you were to like, for example, completely change your content and maybe like talk about business 5% of your video, but it's completely different, I feel like you'd retain your views.
I believe it.
Like your Tesla videos are doing just as good as
Tesla video. I'm actually gonna live check this right now. Actually, no, I'm not, because the voice memo.
the voice memo.
It's I checked it yesterday. It was 190,000. It should break 200,000 today.
I thought it was like a 50.
It was a week and a half ago. It was.
That's crazy. Like look, Graham Stephan, for example, his Tesla videos got him popping too.
Yeah, he made more money on that video than he paid for the Tesla.
Yeah, so I feel like as long as you have some personality that you're throwing into your videos and you're making them different,
yeah,
you could pivot at any time and you'll retain your audience, which is pretty cool.
That's the move. Yeah, it's always about finding a balance.
Yeah,
it's always about finding a balance for me, and that's why I'll never forget the infamous comment of the lady going, "Scott, you are not a content creator. If you start making videos outside of dropshipping, I will stop watching you."
No way.
Yeah, I hit her with the stop watching.
Unsubscribe.
Yeah, unsubscribe, because I'm definitely going to be. It's weird how people want to box you in.
Yeah.
Kind of see what Kanye means. Everyone wanted to box him in so many different ways.
And you kind of box yourself in too. I feel like at some point when I was dropping every day, I was like, I have to keep doing this, because if I kind of tried switching it, and then someone will comment, it kind of gets you at least at first when someone comments like, oh, like stick to just I don't know like
stick to dropshipping.
Yeah, I can't
That's
really
what people
remember
told
an
me on the
exact
stock.
comment.
Yeah.
But when they say something, it kind of does get to you. You're like, damn, maybe if I do this, I'm gonna throw away what I worked on. You just gotta realize that there's so many YouTubers. Like it's really, you see it from your perspective. You're like, damn, this guy just said that. He's for sure thinking about it all day. And then to be honest, like it's not that big of a deal. Like people aren't thinking about your video all day unless it's really some life-changing shit like you just said, or like really taught them something. If it's something negative, they forgot about it in 5 minutes. And you should too. Like at first I would get over it. I would struggle with it. I'd be like, damn, like I have to be more careful with how I line up my videos, what type of topics I talk about. Like
even if there's 100 positive comments, that one negative comment will cause you to shift everything.
Or when you have 100 likes and then 5 dislikes, you're like, damn,
95%.
Yeah, and it's still, you kind of look at least back then, you'd look at the negatives more than the positives. So
yeah, we're just naturally tuned for that. It comes from like just being aware of the threats in the wild.
Yeah.
You know, and it's still in our brain today. We're always aware of the threats, hyper focus on the threats, because to be hyper focused on the good it doesn't save us from anything.
Yeah.
Except maybe our own egos.
Right. What about you? Are you trying to move back to LA or?
Yeah, I'm moving back with you in March, right?
March. Okay. That's a good time frame.
Me, you, Fez, and Mikey.
Run it back?
Run
this
back.
House though.
The Halo Top house, actually.
Yeah? Is it available?
Yeah, the guy moved out, actually, I'm pretty sure.
How much is that one?
Ah.
You just leaked the address. Now people are going to search up Halo Top house.
Oh, whoops. Well, the goal is by that point for the amount not to even matter. Like imagine if we all just moved into a $250,000 Bel Air mansion.
$250,000 a month?
$250,000 a month, yeah. But guess what? We're all making $250,000 a month. I guess it wouldn't still be that financially.
Yeah, 25% of your monthly.
25%, but still, people put 80. Most people probably, I would argue, put like 60% of their rent. Games of life of percentages. That's why when people see like someone buy a someone see someone buy $150,000 chain, everybody in the comments is always like, you know how much good that could have done. You know how much good. Listen, if you have a $150,000 chain, I promise you there's much more where that came from.
It's true.
It's all in terms of percentages, because if someone was worth $100 million and bought $100,000 chain, what is that, 0.1% of their whole wealth? But someone's worth $100,000 and buys a $100,000 chain,
awful.
It's a very different ball game, and most people who comment that shit are coming from the the lesser level and don't really understand the upper.
Right.
Yeah. So
And I feel like we kind of know how to like make money out of things. So if we were to like, let's say, get that house, we find a way to make money out of it, content wise or something.
yeah.
Like we wouldn't let 250K just to live there go to waste. Like we'd do something related to it. Start ecom reality TV show.
Yeah. That's what the world needs, honestly. And a reality show where it's all kids online making money.
That'd be cool.
It would
It
go
hasn't been
super
done.
hard. Hasn't been done yet, but
Sell
hopefully
it to
soon.
Netflix.
Sent to Netflix, sent to MTV would probably be a good one.
They're
Vice.
still relevant. MTV.
I don't know. I don't watch
You
MTV. I
bring
watch
them back?
Catfish, but then Catfish started doing virtual catfish.
Oh nah.
And
that's
I'm like, I
why.
can't be watching this anymore.
Nah.
The whole virtual thing is very strange on TV.
Yeah.
Especially the late night hosts, no laugh track or no people in the crowd laughing and no laugh track. It's like none of their jokes are funny anymore.
Nah.
They weren't
It's
really
so
even before
different.
anyway.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like it's kind of hard to do that type of content virtually. Like you can't do that. I feel like at that point you might as well just take a break
Yeah,
and come back at some point. Completely different.
100%.
Take that time to like think of like new content, new things to like kind of like grow your audience rather than just be stagnant. If you're doing that type of content where you can't really do it because of COVID.
Oh yeah, yeah. I guess so. I don't know. I think the number one show that came out ahead of this is Ridiculousness. Like nothing's changed except for they're just a little farther apart from each other.
Oh yeah,
But
because
they've been filming nonstop. They don't show the audience, but they have like all the audio, like laugh tracks and everything. You cannot even tell a difference. They're not wearing masks. I feel like so many people wear a mask just to show they're wearing a mask.
so
when
they
it
don't get
doesn't make
canceled on
sense.
Twitter.
What?
Just so they don't get canceled on Twitter.
Not even that. It's kind of like because it's like a trendy thing, but it just seems like a very tacky thing to me. I don't know if I told you about the advertisement I saw driving over to Umar's. I saw it was a traffic law guy, like a lawyer, and in the profile picture on the billboard, he has a mask on. It's like, okay, I know you. Maybe maybe he had to get it. Maybe he got that photo recently, and that was like the photographer's
Yeah.
thing. He had to wear it. But I don't know. I see a lot of people like changing their profile pictures. Not so much anymore. To masks. I don't even know how we got on this topic.
Oh, because
Because yeah.
talking about like these shows that are still doing it
Yeah.
virtually.
So
Yeah.
when do you leave LA? Because I texted
I
you
don't
and
know
you're
yet.
like, I'm here indefinitely.
Yeah, so right now I'm waiting for a few things, so I don't have a flight back yet. I might go back to take care of a few things in the office in Miami that I have to like kind of do. But I'm for sure coming back right away.
Do you ship out of the office or do you ship?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Damn, where the fuck do you? That must be a big offense to hold 1 million units.
It was a troll. It's not a million.
Oh, what?
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
You actually no. We told you it was $1 million revenue wise.
No, you said 1 million units.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's a lot. I mean,
Oh.
it's a small product, as you know,
Yeah.
but nah, it's closer to 100,000 units.
100,000 units.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, 1 million would be a big warehouse.
That's what I thought, but I
Yeah.
mean, it's not too big to begin with, so it kind of made sense in my head. Like I couldn't
Yeah.
picture how many of those would look. How many 1 million of that would look like?
You could fit it in a room, low key,
Yeah,
still, but it will take our current space. It will take all of it.
yeah.
So yeah, nah.
I'm
That'd be
interested to
crazy.
see where this brand goes. I hope you document on YouTube. I know everyone watching.
I've been recording everything pretty
Good.
much, so I have it there for whenever I do go public with it,
Yeah,
to share it. But as of now, it's staying in the archives until I want to drop it all together, pretty much like a documentary.
and is that just because you don't really want people copying your idea?
If they do copy it, it will take like 3-4 months to really get it, and that by then I think 3-4 months ahead you can always catch up. But I'm not really too worried about that. I'm doing it mainly because I want to drop like a whole piece of content documenting the whole journey
Mhm.
all at once, rather than having people wait. So I'm
Yeah.
recording everything, and then whenever it's like ahead, where maybe like the brand isn't complete, but I have enough content where I could just start posting consistently, and we're like 2 months ahead. Like it's kind of how reality TV shows work, where they're like 2 months ahead
Right.
of like Kardashians, whatever they show now happened 2 months ago. So I kind of want to have that content and that everything lined up.
I could see that. I'm excited to watch it. I feel like that's kind of what Fez did with Sweet
Yeah,
Dreams.
kind of, yeah.
But he did it like actively, right?
Kind of, because it was a whole year in the making for him too, before he really went public with it.
Really?
Yeah, I mean he started working that when we still live here.
Didn't he start when he was living there? I thought he like started
The
it.
idea and the renderings and things, like the idea of it and getting like samples and everything started here, and then
Okay, that's what I thought.
he got it right in Chicago.
Yeah,
But yeah,
gotcha.
and his product's a little different in terms of that. It's more straight to the point. As
Well, and
opposed
it's also way more complicated with like the certain laws he's got to
to
follow.
Facebook ads, how you
CBD,
can't just run ads to that.
and him being 18.
Yeah,
I'm sure he ran into some
really
issues with that.
complicated.
He said the biggest problem with the whole thing was the cap. Did he tell you about that?
Yeah, because he had to get it right.
Had to
The
get it
little
right.
Iridescent thing.
Yeah,
Crazy.
crazy.
I love that brand. I think it's gonna be another $100 million brand.
Well,
for
yeah,
sure.
he was just saying how it's gonna be in CBD shops soon. I'm like, once
That's
it's in,
huge, bro. That's
Well,
like
like it's gonna pop way out, like compared to all the other brands that's gonna be surrounded. It's gonna pop so much.
and when you do wholesale, these people cash you out $1 million checks to have inventory in the whole country.
Yeah,
Well, wherever it's legal.
yeah.
So that's pretty dope. I
That's
think
what
it's gonna be huge.
I think so too. He said he's gonna get into investors and everything.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So what should the people know, Sebas? What are the people what should they know? What are people
Damn,
missing
I
right
don't
now
know.
that they need to know?
YouTube wise, definitely coming back. So
I
keep
meant
an
in
eye out
general,
for
like
that.
advice and
In
stuff
general,
like that.
life
Yeah.
advice. You mind if I take a piss right quick before I say that?
Well, we're actually about to wrap up right now,
Wrap
so
up,
it's gonna be
alright,
like
cool.
perfect.
Bro,
Just take a piss while you're
the
saying it.
Fiji is killing me.
Take a piss in
For
the
like
pool while
a
you're
whole
saying
30
it.
minutes straight.
I'm telling you.
But yeah, no, life advice. Honestly, from personal perspective, from what happened to me with the whole setting that deadline for myself in terms of I have to make the 10K before summer ended to go back to school. I think the two keys to success that have worked crazy for me are, number one, you need to really believe in yourself more than anything. Like you need to have a ridiculous amount of self-belief, because when I say I want something, I don't think I've ever really doubted it. Like as a materialistic example, like I know for a fact I'm gonna own a Lambo, and I've always believed that. Even before, when I was in high school, I knew I was gonna drive a Lambo one day. I knew I was gonna be able to take care of my family, and although that hasn't been fully done, I still believe in that entirely. And I think, I don't know if you agree with that, but I think self-belief is the number one thing, along with actually getting the work done, because you could just believe in yourself and that's it. Like I think if you really believe in yourself, that kind of encompasses you actually working for it, and just the ability to be able to like remove yourself from yourself when making decisions. Like
Right.
when you kind of like tell Fez, for example, oh, I think you should do this, and he's like, oh, it's an example, this didn't really happen, but
Right.
I think you should do this, and it may seem like a risky investment. You're kind of like looking at it without emotions, so you're thinking he should do that because you're thinking about it strictly financially, when 50K investment, which is not guaranteed to go right but makes sense to you, might seem scary and you might be doubtful about it. If you remove your emotions from a lot of decisions you make, personally, emotionally, business wise, and everything, and really look at it factually and in terms of does it make sense,
Mhm.
I think that's a huge thing that I've been able to do for the last 2 to 3 years.
Just looking at it from a level head.
If you think about it, every time Mikey would hand me his phone to text a girl and he didn't know what to say,
Yeah.
and I would just say something random that would work, but I would, if it was me texting a girl, I would be like, damn, that's a little, like maybe she doesn't answer back or something. But if it's not you, you know that it's a good thing. It's like something that will come across as like having game or something.
Yeah.
But if it's you want to be like play the safe card, and it ended up working. He's cuffed now.
It was that girl?
Yeah,
Wait, what happened with that?
bro. I think he found her on Tinder, and then he gave me his phone, and he was like, yo, like, do your thing, because Faz and him would do that quite a lot when we lived there.
And what'd you say?
I don't remember. Like, honestly, it was like you could ask them. It was a bunch of different people.
Jeez.
And
And then he ended up going on a 3-month
he ended up going
international
to
tour
Europe.
with her.
forever. So I think that if you really think about that, that example is obviously like it did happen, but it's
Does
kind
she
of a joke.
does she know that she was talking to you
I think
initially?
he's told her. Yeah.
Oh.
Well, I was just replying for him, but
Yeah.
yeah, I think that if you emotionally remove yourself from decisions and just like really like take a bigger picture and see yourself from third person, and like it's like GTA. When you're playing GTA, you're getting the missions done. You don't worry about if the character dies. You just go back. So in this case, it's like you're not gonna die, but if you think about it and kind of like stop worrying so much about playing the safe card,
Yeah.
I think that I mean, I did it with college when I dropped
Mhm.
out. So just believe in yourself and emotionally remove yourself from decisions. I think that's
100%.
huge advice.
When you're in LA, it does feel like you're playing GTA.
It does,
So
literally.
maybe that has a little bit of effect on the decisions you make, good or bad, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, thanks so much for coming.
Nah, thank you, bro.
I'm glad we got to do this. We're supposed to do this before
Like
COVID,
8 months ago.
8 months ago,
That's
and
crazy.
that raggedy ass initial setup I ordered, old school ass setup. But
You don't have it anymore?
no, remember that was when it was like the amplifier with the mixer,
Oh my
and I had to
God.
hire. I would have to hire someone. Look
That
how
was like a
simple
DJ
this
setup.
is. Yeah, look how simple this is.
Yeah, this is dope. I like this.
It's basically gone down to the exact same thing.
You can do this anywhere. Hawaii.
Exactly.
Like,
Hawoohoo.
What?
Surfing in Hawoohoo, we could do it.
just get a super long lens and lav mix.
Yeah,
mics.
like a 4,000 millimeter.
That'd be crazy.
That'd be nuts.
That'd be viral.
Probably would go out of range.
Do it with like a surfer, professional surfer, the best
Yeah.
surfer in the world.
That's the move.
That'd be dope.
All right, well, we're gonna wrap
Alright,
this
bro.
up.
Thank you.
We went a while, hour and 40 minutes.
What? I always watch the podcast and wonder how do people make it that long, and
You fall into the
it just
conversation.
spirals down into it.
Yeah,
But yeah. All right. Thanks for
awesome.
watching, guys.
Yeah, you can follow Sebas in the description
On TikTok. I'm kidding.
on TikTok.
Sebas Bedoya on Instagram. Oh, you said the description.
Yeah, I'll link everything on the Twitter and the Facebook. He says he wants you to friend him on his personal Facebook, ASAP.
Don't do that. I haven't gone there in years.
All right.
Thank you, bro.
Thanks for
Appreciate
watching.
it.
Yeah, thanks
Jump
for
in the
coming.
pool now.
Yeah, jump in the pool.